Hello, and welcome to Couch Critics Times 2. I'm Tanya,
I'm Tara.
and we are going to talk about Scream 1 and Scream 2 for the third time, honestly.
We keep having technical difficulties, and we're not really know what's
we're
going
new
on.
with some of this stuff, and we'll get there, I promise. But till
All right.
then, we're going old school. We're sorry.
Let's just go ahead and kick it off watching
Yes.
Scream 1. Now, spoiler alert, we are going to talk about the killers. We're going to talk about some of the killings and things like that. So if you have not watched this, I recommend going and watching those before you watch this.
Yes.
Okay, so to start off Scream 1, epic. Just epic. Just, to start off a slasher film like this is awesome.
Yes. Your opening scene in a slasher film sets the tone for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you open the way that Scream opens, it kind of gives you this idea that this is going to be brutal. Mm-hmm. It's going to be
lets you
fun.
know what kind of movie you're going to be watching.
Yeah. And you think about it, they're opening this up with a phone call. Okay? And at this time, back in 1996, they probably did have caller ID.
Yeah, I think so.
But still,
like beepers was a thing back then and everything. But the intensity of the start of this film was awesome.
Yeah.
You have Drew Barrymore, a pretty well-known actress, who's starring in this film, and probably watching the trailer, you thought she was going to make it past the opening credits.
She's a pretty good actress at this time.
But she does not.
She does not. She doesn't make it past it.
And
her killing is
one for the books. Yes. It really is. It like sets the whole tone for everything.
And her parents are literally right around the corner. Like, she's literally trying to holler for her mom. She can't. Her voice has been crushed. Her voice box. But, so she's all like, trying hard to get
the parents go in the house. It's filled with smoke because
they can't find Casey. The glass is broken. Mm-hmm. So the dad's like, call 911.
So she picks up the phone, and then she's hearing Casey like gasping for air, she's having a hard time, and then you're hearing the stab wounds and and then the mom's like, Casey, baby, like it's just
perfect in a way, like for an opening. And then they're hanging her from a tree,
and then they go outside and they find the way they find her, and that scream,
brutal, and it's a brutal way of opening. Now see, the thing is with Ghost, okay, so he's Ghostface, okay, but the thing with Ghostface, this is not your regular Michael Myers. It's not your regular Jason Voorhees or your Freddy Krueger. No. Those films are introduced to the same killer over and over, and you know what they're capable of.
Yeah, and like the beginning of those movies, they're human, but the more they go on, they're not.
But these movies, you actually have human beings being psychos. Yeah. And not only that, it could be your best friend, it could be your lover, it could be your family. It's basically a don't trust anybody situation. And a lot of times they're not solo. Mm-mm. There's double.
One movie where there's only one killer, and we'll talk to you about that probably later on this week.
So not only are you having to outrun one psycho, you're having to outrun two psychos, or three to certain. Again, we'll talk about that in the future. So you have Billy and Stu, who are the killers in part 1, and when you go to the originals on screen, it's got to be top tier. Yeah. And not only that, you got the top tier final girl, in our opinion. You got Sidney Prescott, who's smart, knowledgeable in things, and just basically knows how her self-awareness of things, in my opinion. Like, she knows how to, her survival instincts kick in. You know what I mean? Like, she knows not to try to run upstairs when the killer's coming. Unless the door's locked, and they've already thought of that. Upstairs. She has to run upstairs.
She knows, like, when phones aren't, like, or if she's not in front of a phone or anything, she uses her computer to reach out for help. Yes. Things like that. So she was really smart, and I think that kind of took them off guard a little bit of how well she.
Yeah, they attempted at her house. They attempted at the school. Rather, I don't know if that would have. I mean, it was a small encounter, but it was still an attempt, in my opinion.
He may have left her alone that day if they hadn't gotten a little argument beforehand. Mm-hmm. I'm just kidding.
If she would just give it up.
Mm-hmm. Like, once you watch the movie and you notice it's Billy and Stu who's the killers, and you go back and watch it, you can see Billy being like.
Now, when they attack her at her house, Billy does make the mistake of coming through her window and the cell phone dropping at his feet, which automatically makes her assume. And maybe it's because he didn't have a cell phone. Maybe he doesn't have one. I don't know. Anyways, it's surprising to her for him to have it. And so she is accusing him of being the killer, and the sheriff takes off with him. They want to do a screen call on that stuff. Now let's get to the party scene, okay? Her best friend's name is Tatum, and that's something you want to know because
it's going to get
reused. Her daughter's name is going to be Tatum, so it plays tribute to her best friend. And everyone knows it. Like, again, if you haven't watched the movie, we're sorry, but if you know who Tatum was in the first one, you know how she was killed. The iconic garage door scene. She tries to go through the putt door of the garage, and she can't fit. No. So the killer just smashes her head and body in together there, and she's brutally killed that way. But I want to talk about Billy and Sydney for a minute. Okay, you have Billy who had went to jail, and they finally get to see. Well, no, I guess they did bump into each other at the school whenever, and she's still spooked out by him.
Yeah.
And so Billy shows up to the party, and Sydney's like, you know what? I'm being too harsh with him.
Maybe he's right.
Yeah.
I'd rather not touch him.
You know, you only live once, and blah, blah, blah. So she takes him up to the bedroom. Their PG-13 relationship went to a more adult version of a relationship, if you get our drift. And right after, when they're getting dressed, she's asking him questions, and she's wondering, who did you call while you were in jail? And he's like, my dad. And she's like, no, the sheriff called your dad. I was there. And he's like, yeah, but I tried, and I didn't get a hold of him. And then she's like, huh. And he's like, what? And she's like, I just thought it fit the whole, you know, I want to say the scary movie line there, and it could be the same one with the 90s cliche if you turned out to be the killer. And you would have tried to throw me off by, you know, calling me. And he's like, what do I got to do to prove to you that I'm not the killer? At that moment, she looks at him with certainty. She knows it's
like
him.
The realization of something.
Yes.
And, you know, and I've been thinking about this ever since you asked that. And I came up with my own little theory. It could totally be wrong. But what if, like, the whole point, like, the whole thing in this, Gail Weathers is back. She, you know, she did the story on Maureen Prescott, Sydney's mom, and things like that. And she also covers Cotton Weary, which she believes Sydney put a innocent man in jail, which is, you know, Cotton Weary is presumed to have killed Maureen Prescott. And she said, no, I seen him drive off that night. She said, no, you've seen someone. And so
you're thinking maybe it's clicking that she's seen him driving.
Yeah.
Something clicked. She knows it's him.
So that's my theory. Although it never gets
told. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to try to squeeze it in on this, but if I can't, because again, I'm new to this stuff. I'm learning as we go.
We're learning as we're going.
She's just like, when he says that, she like looks at me, she's like, oh my gosh. And like something, she never finishes it, and that drives me nuts, but I know that's her way of being like, it's you. Oh my gosh. And but of course, Ghostface, for people who's watched it, comes in right after, fake stabs him with the blood, and of course throws that theory out the window for her at that time. And again, it never gets recircled. You don't know if she was going to say you are the killer or you're the one who killed my mom. We don't know, and that does not. But you know that she knew.
Yeah. Now at the end of this movie, we see Stu and Billy get killed, but they are somehow bringing Stu back for part 7.
And the only way I can see that is because he was stabbed by Billy a few times, too many times, and he's feeling a little woozy.
And then he had a TV
and a TV thrown on top of him. So we never seen the bullet to the head.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's ways he could survive.
Yeah. And there's ways that they could be bringing these characters back too. Like, we don't know if what we're about to watch are like little movie clips of or films or something of somebody, you know what I mean? We don't know.
Now they brought Billy back in some of these movies as a ghost. I
there's
really
no
hope
way.
they don't do that route.
Well, no, as far as we know, nobody's related to this too. I was gonna say never mind Mindy and them, but no. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they bring Stu back. Like we said, there's a psychiatric hospital or something they keep showing in the trailer, Scream 7, and so we're thinking maybe
a Hannibal Lecter version thing where they're going to go and get his expertise on trying to help find this killer. Yeah.
And then there's rumors, but like you said, that like she's heard, there's rumors that he might be the mastermind,
like the puppet master of all these Scream killers.
That everything's going to link back to the original.
And we'll see how it all played out.
But I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But that's our thing for Scream 1.
Yeah. Let's go to part 2. Part 2, they start off in college. Sydney and Randy are in college. You also see Dewey and Gale in this one. The start off in this one is the premiere of the Stab movie, which is based off the first movie, and you get this young couple in there.
And the thing is, these people, they're not afraid to play in public. Like, not only do they portray that once, they portray it twice. If you think about it, Randy's killing is done in public.
Well,
it's
hidden in a hidden van,
right?
But out in broad daylight.
He's token. You know what I mean? Like they're taking the risk of just being seen by doing that.
More risque, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you had the movie theater killing, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this one, you know, anybody's up for game, and that's what's so fun about these movies is you got to sit there and try to figure out who do you think it is. Who's the killer?
And it is a little hard to pick out the killers in these ones. Like I was telling you earlier that I did when I rewatched these films because I've been rewatching them. The killer in this one is from the film part with Randy in the film class in the college, and they're arguing about something. I remember that. And when Sydney comes to get Randy so they can talk about what's happened recently with the movie theater. He says, and this is where the geek gets the girl. And he sprays his mouth and he goes on. Well, Randy's getting a call from the killer, and he's trying to keep him on the line so they can try to figure out who's calling them around. The killer brings up, you're not the geek that gets the girl. Something along those lines. So let you know
somebody in that class or something. Yes.
At least in my opinion. That kind of reveals that, anyways, it turns out to be Nancy Loomis, or I want to say it's Nancy Loomis. That's so wrong. Dr. Loomis. Billy Loomis. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Is there a Dr. Loomis?
Yeah, off Halloween.
Billy Loomis. Okay, wow.
So that's pretty cool. Anyways, it's Billy's mom. And she, of course, she has her motive, wanting revenge for her son. And then there's also the boyfriend's best friend. And the film student that she was just talking about who was in that class with Randy.
And he was just basically on the website for psychos, and Miss Loomis found him and was just like, well, you'll be fine. And then she kills him.
They played on Sydney's emotions, you know, making her second guess her friends, her boyfriend.
Which obviously you would second guess that when something like this happens, and again, it's catered with you in it. Like, I automatically think I would be questioning my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd question my friend, but she gets killed either way. And so, like, she's left alone.
Well, at that time,
besides with just Dewey.
At that time, that's the first time in Scream that they introduced a girl killer. So she probably wouldn't have thought anything about her girl friends more than her boyfriend and his friends.
And you know what? After that, besides part 3, there's a girl killer in every one of them.
Well, because girls can do just as what
yes,
guys
they
can. But yeah, it's definitely a watch. I like the first one better, but the second one's decent. And
whenever we go through these films, at the end of them, we are going to give you our rankings of where we go, of where we're going to put them and stuff. But anyways, I think that's.
But you also noticed the necklace.
Yes,
if you want to mention that,
because it's in 2 of the films. The boyfriend gives the necklace, and it's with his letters for his fraternity, and that was a big no-no. And but it was to show his love to her and stuff like that. And when she realizes that he's not the killer and stuff, that she actually did care for him, she wears it throughout the rest of that film, and then part 3 as well. She wears it throughout the whole film there. So
you also have
those things.
A cameo from Sarah Michelle Gellar in this one. She's Cece.
Yep.
I don't know. It's a fun watch.
And Cotton Weary plays a big part in this film as well.
Yes.
He gets introduced into it and stuff. So
you'll see him again in part 3 as well.
And he's just trying to get Sydney. He wants money.
Yeah, he just wants.
He's all about money.
Yeah.
He wants his tragedy turned into money, which most people do when they're in that situation.
He was wrongfully accused.
He was wrongfully accused of rape and murder.
So I guess I get it. It ruined his reputation. You know, so I get why he would want to.
Yeah.
But anyways, definitely worth a watch. I would definitely, if you haven't watched the Scream movies before Scream 7 comes out at the end of this month, I would try to get them in. They're a lot of fun, and I do feel like you should watch them all to kind of be up to date, because like I said, we think they're bringing Stu back. Well, it's been confirmed they're bringing Stu back.
And you gotta think, what is Stu's motive here? Because like, you have Billy, whose dad cheated on his mom with Sydney's mother,
Mm-hmm.
and then turned around his mom and left because of that affair that was wrapped around it. So I'm guessing Stu's motive here is just being Billy's friend. Like, you know what? You're heartbroken. I'm heartbroken.
Or like if he is in a mental asylum and stuff, maybe just sitting there lingering on how she's ruined his life. This is where he's at. She called his parents.
But not only now, yeah. But I'm talking about even then though. I guess just being friends with Billy.
Yeah. Back in the day, even
was well enough for him to be like, yeah, I want to do this with you.
Yeah,
let's do
so.
it. Let's go on a killing spree.
I think that's what it was.
All wrapped around because your father cheated on him and your mom left. So
that's exactly what I think. I think he just did it just to do it with him. I think.
And then at any point after that, probably is out of revenge.
And Billy probably made it sound like, "I will get away with it. We're gonna blame it here," and you know what I mean.
Yeah, we're gonna be victims ourselves and stuff like that. But we want to thank you all for tuning in. Catch us here soon. We're going to be going over Scream 3 and Scream 4. But thank you.